guys? Welcome back to another video. I do want to apologize ahead of time because I have a slight cough right now, but I just wanted to share a book haul because we had a few books come in, one that was ordered last year, another one that was pre-ordered last year, and a few of the new books that I ended up selecting off of Book of the Month. If you guys want to stick around for the haul, definitely hang out and check out the content. It's reading time here at JB's Corner. For those of you that are new here, my name is Jaya. I love all things books. I am absolutely obsessed with fiction, and I definitely have an addiction to it. And if that sounds like something that fits your vibe, you're definitely in the right place. I consume books way too quickly. I enjoy them just a little too much. And so when I found out that some of my favorite authors are coming out with the next books in their series, or when I find out that books in series that I like are coming out, then, you know, your girl just gets a little too excited. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. I ended up getting my favorite blue box in the mail recently, and that was none other than the subscription service of Book of the Month. Now, the beauty of Book of the Month is that they end up curating these amazing titles that are basically the new and it-coming titles of that month. And these are hardback, beautiful books. And if you do end up going for the subscription and you're someone like me who likes the vibes and the colors and all that kind of stuff and the matchy-matchy, all of the books are basically produced to be the same height, the same shape, the same structure, and these are brand new books, hardback books that are being sold at a fraction of the cost that you would normally find them in store. It's also nice because these debut authors, as well as repeat authors who are known to have amazing stories, are already pre-curated, and you can select from 6 different titles. Usually. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 7. Most of the time it's 6 titles of different genres. So they have romance, they have thriller, they have historical fiction, they have contemporary fiction, they have contemporary romance, historical romance, memoirs. You think of it, it's probably going to be there. Outside of that, we also have the added benefit of selecting from books from previous months if you missed out, or now have a nostalgic vibe to pick them up. You also have access to other titles that are in the spotlight that may not be part of those favorites that are being showcased in the curated set, but are books that still caught the team's attention, and so they're still going to be marketed on the website. Most of the time you can find a promotion code for them as well. You can usually get your first book for $5.99. Yes, you heard me correctly. And you can also get additional books as well at a fraction of the normal cost of buying them in store. So without further ado, let's jump into those books first. Taco decided to come say hello. You want to say hi? Say hi to the nice people. Hello. I am annoying my mother. Tell the truth. Tell everyone on the camera how you're being annoying. Were you scratching Mommy's furniture? Yes, you were. Were you scratching up Mommy's pants? Yes, you were. Did you want all the attentions? Yes, you did. But she's so cute. And she's purring so hard. She's my little floof. She can be joining us for the rest of the video, possibly. Okay, now we can jump into the video since I'm no longer being distracted by the little floofy that's right here in my lap. Okay, so I ended up picking up a couple of thrillers because March usually marks the month of thrillers for me. And with that coming up, I realized that I've read a lot of the thrillers that I currently have on my TBR list. So I thought I would share these. The first one that I picked up is The Exes by Leodara Darlington. And it says, love brings out the villain in all of us. Now, if that wasn't the perfect book to pick up for March, right after Valentine's Day romance readathon, I don't know what else could be. So let's read the inside together. An explosive debut thriller packed with twists and a jaw-dropping finale, as well as a moving look at the truths we choose not to see, especially about ourselves. Natalie has only ever wanted to find the one, the perfect man, the happy family she never had. Now that she's found James, she's careful to keep him. He's different from all the men she's loved before. Calm, competent, kind. And there are 3 very good reasons she needs to be careful. Their names are Mark, Luca, and George. Natalie prefers not to talk about what happened to her ex-boyfriends. It might just get her in trouble. Instead, she needs to focus on her future, on building a family with James to replace the one she's lost. But the harder Natalie tries to be a normal wife, the more world-upending truths are brought to her door by people who seem to want to take her back to her darkest moments. She's left unsure of who she really is, what she's done, and what she'll do next, until a shocking betrayal brings her to a crossroads. Can she and James survive their marriage, and does either of them deserve to? So this kind of reminded me of Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, and I was like, you know what? Kind of gives me that vibe. And so I do think that this should be a fun read for sure. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting into this mystery novel of this woman just trying to pick up the pieces while we also learn what happened in her past. And I would be very surprised if her husband also doesn't have a little bit of a quirky past as well. So definitely looking forward to reading The X's. And the next book that I ended up picking up is Dawn of the North. This is part of the Ashen series. I believe this series is going to be 5 books in total, and this is book number 3. I am waiting until the entire series is completed to read it, but I've heard rave reviews about this series, and the fact that Book of the Month continues to basically offer these as an option for us to pick up really showcases that they believe in this author and this series. So let me read the inside of this fantasy novel's cover. A new age begins in the kingdom of Isildur in this sizzling 3rd installment of the Viking-inspired Ashen Romantasy series. The lost Volsic heir has finally returned to the people of Isildur, and even though Scylla has the warrior who captured her heart by her side, her task is monumental. She must earn the loyalty of the northern Jarls to drive Ivar Ironheart from the throne and restore peace in the kingdom. But the secret she vigilantly guards threatens to ruin all her plans. A shard of a god lives in her mind, twisting her thoughts and deeds to his will. Meanwhile, held captive on the mysterious Isle of Zagadka, Saga Volsic fights to return to her sister in Isildur. But when King Ivar sets his sights on the Zagdakians, she's forced to make an impossible choice. Fight for the man who stole her and is now hell-bent on marrying her, or let the innocent people of his kingdom die. As a poisonous mist threatens the realm, the sisters will delve into the unknowns of their magic to battle against evil. Return to the land of ice and fire, where a god awakens, a queen finds her power, and sisters must unite against the darkness threatening their realm. So it definitely sounds like the book is taking on much more intensity and the story is getting more serious. I do have a feeling this is still going to be a little bit of a filler book just because it's book 3 out of 5 books. But I am curious to see where the series will continue to take us. And I'm also very, very, very excited as I read the inner covers of these books to really delve into this Viking world. I feel like I haven't read too much Norse mythology based fantasy, and I'm really excited to tap into this because Norse mythology is definitely something that I enjoyed growing up. And so very, very much excited to read Dawn of the North. Continuing on with Book of the Month, as you can see, I picked up quite a few this month. I ended up picking up a few more thrillers, but I wanted to keep going with the red and pink vibes that I have going for this month of February. So I ended up picking up Best Offer Wins. This is by Marissa Cascino, and I also thought this was fun because a lot of my friends at this stage in our life are like buying their first time homes. My husband and I are talking about whether we would want to buy a home or continue to rent. There's a lot of discussion around these topics. So when I saw there was a thriller about a woman trying to find her perfect home and she would do just about anything for it, I was like, I need to read this book. So let's read the inside together. An insanely competitive housing market, a desperate buyer on the edge. Marissa Cascino's darkly hilarious debut novel asks, how far would you go for the house of your dreams? 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs, 37-year-old publicist Margot Miyake gets a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband, Ian, and in turn get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed and the masses descend, with unbeatable all-cash offers in hand. A little stalking, harmless. A bit of trespassing, necessary. As Margot infiltrates the homeowners' lives, her tactics grow increasingly unhinged. But just when she thinks she's won them over, she hits a snag in her plan. Undeterred, Margot will prove again and again that there's no boundary she won't cross to seize the dream life she's been chasing. The most upsetting part, you'll root for her, even as you gasp in disbelief. Dark, biting, and laugh-out-loud funny, Best Offer Wins as a propulsive debut and a razor-sharp exploration of class, ambition, and the modern housing crisis. I think this would be really fun to read. I've also really been into watching videos about tiny homes being turned into, like tiny vans being turned into homes, and like tiny houses and things like that in general. And especially in this world where we are dealing with a housing market issue and the fact that, you know, it's globally affecting people. It's a very interesting concept, and I think it's going to be a fun read for sure. And it's a great escape when I don't want to think about whether or not we're going to buy a house or not. So, seemed like the perfect opportunity. So, the last book, my cat's in a mood. The last book that I ended up getting, yes. You need to say something? Do you want to say something to the nice people? What do you want to say? What do you want to say, my little cuddle bug? Is that so? I don't know what that means. Do you guys speak cat? I don't speak cat very well. You disagree? You think I speak cat well? Yeah? You want to hold on to me? Chocolate? Okay. All right, moving on. How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates. This book sounded absolutely hilarious. It is written by Shaylee Thompson, and I could not stop cracking up. In fact, I may end up replacing one of the other books on my TBR for February with this one because just I died, and I think it'll be perfect segue transition into March's thriller vibes. So let's talk about it. Dating is cutthroat in the swoony and scary slasher rom-com. When cinephile Jamie Prescott and her best friend Lori attend a speed dating event, Jamie expects to meet some mediocre men and indulge in street food afterwards. She doesn't expect one of her dates to have his throat slit during a blackout. As more bodies hit the floor, it becomes clear that dating can be a very dangerous pastime. Armed with makeshift weapons and Jamie's knowledge of what not to do in a slasher, the remaining speed daters try to find an exit while the killer adds to his body count. When Jamie comes face to face with the murderer, she begins to suspect he is committing the slayings to woo one of the daters, and turn them into a real-life final girl. But Jamie has other plans, and as she fights for her life, she finds herself ensconced in a love triangle with two of the other survivors. Will she make it through the bloodshed to find her happily ever after? Or does this machete-wielding psychopath have another ending in mind? Blind dates, speed dating, violence, murder, craziness, and slasher rom-com with a triangle. I was like, this sounds perfect. So you guys may see a recap of this book coming up soon at the end of this month / beginning of March, because she may just make it into the TBR for February. But when I saw this book available on Book of the Month, I had to get my hands on it. I just thought it sounded absolutely hilarious, and so I definitely had to pick it up. The next book I want to show is actually from Fairy Loot, and I finally received this beautiful copy of Enigma by Runix. This is the second book that she's written in this genre, basically dark academia vibes, and it is also dark romance. I remember really enjoying Gothicana, so I'm hoping I'm gonna like Enigma just as much, and I just think this was such a beautiful copy of this book. So here is the outer cover that Fairy Loot ended up doing. On the back, it says, "The chaos inside me quietens when I'm near you." And I thought that was so sweet. I also absolutely adore the inside of this book. It is absolutely stunning. We have the beautiful, beautiful abandoned castle, Harry Potter vibes that they use as their school. And then, of course, the inner binding pages are absolutely stunning as far as the end plates go. And I just think it's so sweet. Then, of course, we have the painted edges on this book as well. So let's talk a little bit about what this stunning novel has to entail. There are secrets she must uncover. There are secrets she must keep. Salem Salazar is a black sheep of her wealthy family. Plagued by scandal, she enrolls at the elite Mortimer University to find out what happened to her perfect missing older sister, Olivia. There, she soon discovers Olivia is only one of many girls who have disappeared at Mortimer, and vows to uncover the dark forces responsible, even if it means using herself as bait. And Casimir van der Waal has caught her scent. Cas may look as though he was carved by the gods, but he also has a dark past, a hidden agenda, and a ravenous appetite for a beautiful golden-eyed girl. But whilst Kaz is obsessed with Salem, he is far from the most dangerous thing in Mortimer. As Salem and Kaz's investigations intertwine, their undeniable chemistry ignites a passionate bond. Can they uncover the truth before it consumes them both? So obviously you have the dark romance component, you have the gray moral character, you have the usuals, but simultaneously it is also taking place at a university where deaths, murder, mayhem, kidnappings, missing bodies are starting to become a problem. So I do feel like this will be a perfect read for the fall, and I am very excited to sink my teeth into it at that time. But I also just love how beautiful this book is. I ordered this book, I want to say, last September, and it's finally showed up. So I'm very excited about that. One thing I will always say about Fairy Loot is their books are beautiful, but once you order from them, just forget you ordered the book because you're not going to receive it for quite some months. Last but not least, one of my favorite authors of all time, Carrie Maniscalco, who also happened to write one of my favorite series of all time, Kingdom of the Wicked, released the third book in her Prince of Sins series, which is Throne of Nightmares. Now, this book is actually following Sloth and his love interest, and I am so pumped. For those who didn't watch the video earlier, I'll link it on this video. But basically, I had done a video earlier showcasing all the books that I was excited for that were anticipated releases for the year of 2026. And this was definitely one of them. I am so excited to read this book. So this may also be replacing one of the TBR books for February. Now, I do appreciate the fact that this is not super duper pink, but I mean, it is pink and red. So I feel like we'll make an exception for her. What do you guys think? Here is the beautiful interior. You can see the library of Prince Sloth, which I just think is so, so beautiful. You get that on both sides. So let's read the inside cover together. A prince who prefers a game of head to those of the heart. Prince Sloth hates leaving his enchanted library, but when a forgotten deity threatens the very fabric of the underworld, he's thrust into a race against time. He must find the Book of Nightmares, an ancient artifact that has the power to break worlds, before it unleashes a deadly game to free its master, the goddess of night. But then, his path collides with a young woman who possesses the legendary Phoenix Tear, a portal stone unlike any other. A librarian who is all sweet sunshine until she burns. Lore Brimstone has always loved getting lost in a book, but she never meant literally. Yet, after visiting a traveling caravan, she quickly finds herself transported to a terrifying but oddly familiar world, with an icy, calculating prince at her side. A twisted tale that means they can't trust themselves or their hearts. Lore and Sloth soon discover they're living out Lore's favorite novels and must face off against an increasingly dark magic with each new story. If Lore can't learn to channel her inner main character to defeat the Book of Nightmares, the walls between the gods and the mortals will come crashing down, dooming them all. This just sounds so good. I saved this book for last because I'm so excited about this book, and I'm so excited to fall back into the caressing words of Carrie Maniscalco. I just love her writing. I love her stories. I love the morally gray characters. I love the adventures they go on. I love all the princes of sin and how they're ready to burn down the world for their loved ones, but they're also simultaneously trying to be respectful and staying in their own lanes, oftentimes showing that they actually have more morals than the people we think may have morals. So absolutely excited for this book, and I'm so, so thrilled to finally be holding it in my hand. And that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a wonderful stack of books that you guys are getting through. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys have been reading. I would love to know. Let me know what your anticipated reads are as we're entering into the year. I would love to hear about that too. I genuinely like reading all the comments and responding to them. I truly believe in a reading community, so I would love to hear from you guys. For those of you that are new, if you enjoyed the video, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. I would love to have you back as part of the reading community. And if you're not interested, I just wanted to say thank you for visiting, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for watching this video, because you know everyone's busy and everyone has lives to live, so I do appreciate the time you spent with me today. For those of you that are returning, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of the family, for helping me and supporting me in this journey of reading and creating this bookish community. It means the absolute world to me, and I could not do it without you guys, and I just thank you for how welcoming and kind everyone has been. That being said, in this month of love, as we are coming out of Valentine's Day, I hope everyone had plenty of time to sit and indulge in reading and self-love and self-care while simultaneously spending time with their loved ones as well, whether it be friends, family, or significant others. I genuinely hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. My Valentine's Day plans and experiences will be shared in the next video, only because I didn't want to pre-film any of that. I wanted it to be like spontaneous and on the go. We do have some fun plans for that weekend. We have a Friendsgiving planned, Galentine's planned, all that kind of stuff. So outside of just the time I'll be spending with my husband. So I'll definitely share the Valentine's Day experiences I had probably next week over the weekend. But for all of you guys that are here today, thank you so much. And I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful time with your loved ones and with your family, and that you guys are all safe. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.